All right, good morning, you guys. This morning I'm going to make a video about the connections that I see between the different fraudulent YouTube channels. And I'm going to start with Phil McConnell. Phil McConnell recently had to plead no contest to cybercrimes in the state of Florida. And he actually was shown mercy by Kim Picasio, the attorney that he terrorized from his YouTube channel. He was shown mercy by her, and he's, since broken the orders of his probation. So, Phil McConnell, you can find more about Phil if you research him. And if you get to a portion where they think that Phil McConnell is a good guy and a white hat and on the right side, you were in the wrong portion of the truther, so-called truther community. They're not truthers over there. Phil McConnell had a whole little huddle of people that he supported, Tim Homseth being one of them. And so here we are to the next connection, Tim Homseth. Tim Homseth is as perverse as any child molester. And I have said, I want Homseth to have to give DNA, because it would not surprise me if it wouldn't clear up a few crimes in some place somewhere, because Homseth is nasty and he is vile. Homseth dressed his own son up in drag, full makeup, and took photographs with him, with his older daughter being the one who took the photographs. It was a family affair. Dress a little boy up in drag and full makeup, high heels. Who does that? That child's mother, Tim Homseth's ex, had to take out a restraining order against him on behalf of her child, their child, because Homseth does not understand boundaries. He has perverse common sense. None. He's a dangerous person. That's why I think he needs to give DNA. He's currently on the run because there's a warrant out for his arrest for cyber crimes. And the last I heard, there was a $5,000 reward for Homseth. So if you see Homseth, it's worth $5,000 to you to turn him in. And I have made comments in comment sections all over the place. Homseth, look in your rearview mirror. They're coming for you. So, Homseth, look in your rearview mirror. They are coming for you. And you can't run forever. I honestly thought he would have been caught before now because he's pretty sloppy. But, I'm sure that he's not like a high priority for law enforcement, because, they just don't understand. Homseth is a dangerous person. Anyone who is so disrespectful of other people and their personal boundaries and what is just common human decency, they're dangerous. And then, so we have Homseth, who is, his fruit is obvious, okay? It's obvious where Homseth is coming from. And now our next connection would be Jesse Zaboter. Jesse's connected to Tim Homestead. One of Jesse's beginning videos, when she first started making videos, Homestead was on there. I about spit. And then recently, Jesse's been trying to raise funds for Homestead. Jesse's a good fundraiser. She has several channels that they all coincidentally appeared on YouTube a little over a year ago. And wow, there was a big love fest between Jesse, Jeff Shepard, Chantel Mayberg, Carmen Studer, George the Iceman. There are other channels that Jesse has appeared on, but some of those relationships seem to have fallen apart. No one has said why, but anyway, here we have Jesse's a boater linked to Tim Homestead, and all these other sketchy relationships that Jesse has. Jesse has someone that is representative of the different things that, you know, she is a card-carrying Christian. I'm going to say this. If people tell me that they are a Christian, I believe them. They may be doing the most horrific things and still have prayed a prayer at some point along the way. If they did, that makes them a backslider. God says he is married to the backslider. Okay? So that where I'm coming from, if they're a backslider, well, they're a backslider. God's married to them. And I'm going to be hard after them in prayer, because God is married to them. They could have prayed the prayer. They could have been sincerely and truthfully born again and then backslide and, you know, do heinous things. But still yet, that doesn't give them a pass. You don't get to have this trash testimony that is absolutely not true and bring all these people in the name of God and abuse children and get a pass. And Jeff Shepard and Jesse Sheeple, they tell you, they call you sheeple. I did a video on the definition of sheeple. Y'all need to not take part of the sheeple. And for goodness sake, stop paying money. The amount of money that Jesse is making on YouTube, well, how many channels does she have that run Patreon accounts for her? I was told that she's making approximately $10,000 a month on Patreon. I wonder if she'll ever answer that question. Jesse, are you making approximately $10,000 on Patreon? Are you making close to $10,000 a month on Patreon from all the YouTube channels with Jeff Shepard, Chantel Mayberg, Carmen Studer, and George the Iceman, and the other shows as well? Because Jesse was on several other channels and there were still Patreon links. Even, you know, so she made money, even though those relationships have since fallen apart. For whatever reason, we're going to be left in the dark about that. I thought this was the light-bearing area. All right, well, I'm not going to go down that lane. But there are links between all these people, and they are not the white hats, y'all. If they speak a shred of truth, it's only a shred, and the rest of it is trash, lies, garbage, stories, making stuff up as they go along. And I just watched something with Jeff Shepard and Jesse, I don't know, a few days ago. And Jeff Shepard has recently revealed that he has deep ties to someone in Disney. He hasn't ever revealed it before, but he just did. And I heard that. I started laughing, and I'm like, nope, not today. Because it's garbage. And just before that, I had listened to Jessie. She was with Chantel Mayberg, and she was talking about the different names that people would know that she had interaction with as she was being groomed to be the Queen Mother, or Queen of Darkness, or whatever she calls herself. And Chelsea Clinton was, one of the names, and she named some others too. And when, it's like I have said, the fraudulent accounts, they have to keep building the story. They have to keep adding to it, or they won't have the same people watching their channel. They have to have stories to keep people hooked. And so the stories become bigger. Instead of going back and expounding on some things and, making sure that there's an understanding, that there's, like a whiff of truth to any of the garbage that she says. When I listened to Jessie, within the first 5 minutes of the first interview that she did with Good Dog, I wanted to bang my head, because I listened to it, and right off, red flags start going down, red lights go off. I'm like, are you kidding me? And people believe this trash? Because the first thing that Jessie says in her testimony is that she was with government officials literally rescuing children out of sacrificial situations. They were literally going to places where children were going to be sacrificed and extracting them, because Jessie knows where those places are. And government officials have consulted with her, and together they go and get those children. Now, I expounded on that. I did not change the context of it. That's what she said. And if people believe that, well, if you believe that, I don't understand why. I just don't. That is not the way that things work. You cannot just, well, on April 13th, they're going to have a big gathering together in the Bronx at such and such address at such and such time. So we're going to put this whole team together, and because Jessie knows that that's going to happen then at that time, we're going to be on the ready, and we're going to go and swoop and get those children out. And this is where it becomes so offensive that it just pisses me off bad. And I know everybody else has, they're angry. They're angry people. They, angry, angry. is the word that they use. No, this pisses me off. This is so vomitous, because when you are exploiting abused children and God, you're deplorable. Your actions, strike that. Your actions are deplorable and repugnant. And I think that it's going to come out soon, because I heard that I listened to Amanda Grace, and I know that these people listen to Amanda Grace as well, and she said that people were believing in the military tribunals, that they were being misled. So, well, there goes Homestead, there goes Madison Marquette, there goes Jesse Zaboter. Phil McCollum was already gone, but he might have another trip around. I don't know. Because this is the people that are saying military tribunals. We have since learned that the military tribunals don't run the way that Jesse Zaboter and Madison Marquette purport that they do. So we know that they are not telling the truth. We know that Ellen DeGeneres has not been tried, convicted, and hung, and neither has Hillary Clinton. And these people, they say, no, Ellen has been already tried. She's been convicted. She's been hung. Yet Ellen DeGeneres is, making shows until she retires, or retired. I don't know if she's retired yet or not. But I'm like, oh, well, where's Ellen doing these shows, these programs from? Gitmo? It was very nice of our military to let Ellen and some of these others, Tom Hanks, use a green screen so they can make some videos to fool the rest of the world that they're still alive. And not at Gitmo being tried and hung. That's what they are selling. That's what they're telling. And people believe that. Well, it's not true, you guys. It's not true. I know that I'm, talking to people who do know that that's not true, but then there are people who don't know. Anyway, there are connections between all these people, you guys. Phil McConnell, Tim Homestead, Jesse Zaboter, Madison Marquette, Carmen Steeder, Jeff Shepard, Chantel Mayberg, George the Iceman, and others. The others, I can't handle that much crazy. And this is crazy. This is chaos. And you know where chaos comes from. So, we know where chaos comes from. That's all I got to say on this video. Lord bless you guys. And hopefully some will wake up. Lord bless you. And some should be scared. Yeah, well, look it. You cannot use the name of God. People targeted the church. And God has been cleaning the church. I know that a lot of people don't see that or think that, but I've been watching. And every now and again, I will Google fallen pastors, and there is always a new string load of names and scandals of pastors in the church. That's God cleaning house. Just because you personally don't see that God is cleaning house does not mean that God has not been cleaning house. And also, if you go to the YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV, then you will see that Dawson has been keeping track of folks in the church for a few years on YouTube now, and you will see God cleaning house. So there's a house cleaning going on, and that house cleaning is going to extend to people who have done these things in the name of God and exploited, abused children. God have mercy. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Bless those that curse you. Pray for those who despitefully use you. Pray for those who despitefully use you. An abused child being exploited is despitefully being used. So I stand in the gap. I pray for those who despitefully use me. I stand in the gap for the kids that are being abused in prayer every day. So I will stand in the gap on our behalf and pray for those who despitefully use us. And I don't ever pray bad things for anybody. I pray God have mercy, because this is not a game. There have been souls damaged and hurt, and this is going to be ugly. The fallout will be ugly. There will be people that will be hurt. There will be ministries that will be hurt because of an association with these people. I'm not talking about the part of the church that's guilty. There's a part of the church they're guilty. Anyway, Lord bless you guys in Jesus' name.